tuning in. Let's start with our top focus, which is the Thoothukudi custodial deaths, the horrific custodial deaths that took place 5 days ago. Jairaj and his son Bennix were picked up by the cops, allegedly killed in custody. And despite the outraging over the incident, there has still been no FIR and no arrests as yet. 2 cops, however, have been suspended. But spine-chilling details of the brutality have emerged, with questions being raised on the EPS government as well for not acting on the guilty cops. There are multiple lapses, multiple problems with the way this entire case has been handled. First of all, it's been 5 days, not a single FIR yet. No arrests have either been made. Only cops have been suspended. There is an absolute deafening silence as far as the state government is also concerned. Multiple questions also being raised about why this has happened. Why have the policemen not even been arrested as yet? Issues as far as the injuries are also concerned on both these men. In fact, the wife of victim Jairaj and mother of Bennix recounts on how she found her husband and son with blood-soaked clothes, and that their clothes had to be changed several times a day. The wife alleges that neither the medical officer nor the magistrate who initially looked into the case bothered to question how her husband and son even got injured.
அவங்க என்ன எழுதுனாங்களோ அவரை இவங்களை எட்டியே பார்க்காம குனிஞ்சே கையெழுத்து போட்டு கொடுத்துட்டாருங்க. ரத்தமாக மூணு சாரம் ஒரு வேட்டி அவ்வளவு ரத்தம். அதுக்கப்புறம் கலர் சாரம் கேட்டு விட்டாங்க. அப்புறம் கலர் சாரம் கொண்டு கொடுத்துருந்து கலர் சட்டை கொடுங்க, வெள்ளை சட்டை கொடுக்கக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க. நான் ரோஸ் கலர் சட்டை கொடுத்தேன், அது கொடுக்கக்கூடாதுன்ட்டு அந்த ரோஸ் கலர் 3வது சட்டையிலையும் கரை, ஒரே ரத்த கரை வீட்டில் கிடக்காது. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஜாமீன் கிடையாது. அங்கே இந்த யார் கோர்ட்டுக்கு கூப்பிட்டு போன இடத்துல அவரும் எட்டி பார்க்காம ஜாமீன் கொடுக்காம அனுப்பிட்டார். நாங்கள் ஒருத்தரையும் பார்க்க விடுக்கல, பேச விடலை. இந்த போலீஸ் ஸ்டேஷன் இந்த ஆஸ்பத்திரியில் வச்சு கூட ஒருத்தரையும் விடலைன்னு சம்மந்தி நான் நோய்க்கு பார்க்க போகிறேன்ட்டு தான் கொண்டு போய் பேசிட்டு வந்தேன். ஒருத்தரையும் பார்க்க விடலை, சாப்பாடும் கொடுக்கல. அதுக்கப்புறம்
In fact, Mirna also spoke to one of the eyewitnesses who was present at the police station and in fact saw what happened. Mani Raman, the friend of the deceased trader's family and a lawyer as well, says he was present at the police station when Jairaj was brought in. In fact, he recounted how the cops claimed that Jairaj had hit a policeman. When Bennix came to the police station in the evening, there was another round of argument, following which the cops told everyone else to leave the police station and then shut the door. Let me in fact go across to Pramod, who's joining us at this point in time. Pramod, there are so many unanswered questions still about the way this entire case is being handled, what happened really while both these men were at the police station. But first, if you can take us through what are the latest developments, the latest details that have now come out.
Well, magistrate from Kovilpatti, as per the instructions of Madras High Court Madurai bench, has reached Satankulam, and he's having he's going through various records, including the prison records. And the Madras High Court Madurai bench had earlier mentioned that the magistrate is directed to go to various locations, starting from the victim's house, meet with the family, his relatives, and many people who have come forward and spoken about the ill treatment they had undergone in the Satankulam police station, collect their statements, and from there go to Satankulam police station and then to the prison, Kovilpatti prison as well, to collect case diaries, general diaries, ledgers and medical reports, and also possibly wherever they could collect CCTV footage. So for that, the Kovilpatti magistrate has gone over to Kovilpatti prison right now, and he has initiated an inquiry. But this is just an inquiry of collecting information. This is not an investigation. So that's the reason many are coming forward and seeking an FIR against a policeman, only which can only initiate an investigation, and that is where the case stands right now.
Yes, absolutely, Pramod. And also, if you can sort of, just to recall, what are the big questions right now that are still not answered? And also what the government, of course, is silent at the moment, but that is also another big issue as to why hasn't there been any concrete reaction yet coming in from the government.
It absolutely is, because the first and foremost question is that why no FIR has been filed so far, and why is the government hiding behind the fact that an inquiry is on the way? Because it doesn't require for the government to wait for an inquiry. They can simply go ahead and file an FIR and actually initiate an investigation, because we are losing the golden period of investigation period where at this it's been almost 4 days or 5 days, and by the time crucial evidence could be destroyed as well. Unfortunately, it looks like the government is giving a breathing time for the alleged accused here to take their own time, just because people protested first. Only the two sub-inspectors were transferred, and then after a major protest they were suspended, and the government is hiding behind this fact alone. There is no kind of action that has been taken against the medical officer who gave the fitness certificate, or what happened to the magistrate, how he let them go to the prison even after being completely injured. Those questions are not been answered, and government is not ready to provide any answer on it.
Yes, absolutely. And Pramod, of course, there's an eyewitness account that has also emerged. One of the friends of Jairaj also, who says that who was there when Jairaj was in fact brought to the police station, and he's very clearly also saying that after a point they shut the door of the police station and they asked everyone else to leave.
It absolutely is. That person's name is Manimaran. He's a lawyer, and he was present at that location when this issue occurred, because he was there for a different case, and he's the one who gave the account of what exactly happened, how Jairaj was dragged into the police station by the inspector, and then how Bennix came over there, how policemen tried to overpower him, which turned into a scuffle, and the inspector apparently told lawyers to leave, and the police station doors were closed, and only after that, Manimaran claims that he could hear lashes, being given to for the father and the son until 12:15 a.m. Manimaran claims that he's in complete distress, and he's just waiting for the magistrate to record a statement now.
Yes, absolutely, Pramod. Stay with us. I want to, play out what the wife of Jairaj had to say, and then we'll come back.
அவங்க என்ன எழுதுனாங்களோ அவர் இவங்களை எட்டியே பார்க்காம குனிஞ்சே கையெழுத்து போட்டு கொடுத்துட்டாருங்க. ரத்தமா மூணு சாரம், ஒரு வேட்டி, அவ்வளவு ரத்தம். அதுக்கப்புறம் கலர் சாரம் கேட்டு விட்டாங்க. அப்புறம் கலர் சாரம் கொண்டு கொடுத்துருந்து, கலர் சட்டை கொடுங்க, வெள்ளை சட்டை கொடுக்கக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க. நான் ரோஸ் கலர் சட்டை கொடுத்தேன், அது கொடுக்கக்கூடாதுன்ட்டு. அந்த ரோஸ் கலர் 3வது சட்டையிலையும் கரை, ஒரே ரத்த கரை வீட்டில் கிடக்காது. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஜாமீன் அங்கே இந்த யார் கோர்ட்டுக்கு கூப்பிட்டு போன இடத்துல அவரும் எட்டி பார்க்காம ஜாமீன் கொடுக்காம அனுப்பிட்டார். நாங்கள் ஒருத்தரையும் பார்க்க விடுக்கல, பேச விடலை. இந்த போலீஸ் ஸ்டேஷன் இந்த ஆஸ்பத்திரியில் வச்சு கூட ஒருத்தரையும் விடலைன்னு சம்மந்தி நான் நோய்க்கு பார்க்க போகிறேன்ட்டு தான் கொண்டு போய் பேசிட்டு வந்தேன். ஒருத்தரையும் பார்க்க விடலை, சாப்பாடும் கொடுக்கல. அதுக்கப்புறம்
let me go across to Advocate SL Ellingham, who's joining me on the phone line. Thank you very much for joining us. This is now 5 days since this horrific incident happened, and we still have no FIR, we have no arrests, and no word even coming in from the state government.
The state government has not given any word. They seem to have granted some 10 lakh rupees or something as solatium. But that is definitely not true at all. Yes. Immediately an FIR should be registered, ought to have been registered by now, against all the police officers, policemen and the friends of police who were all involved in this atrocity. They have committed cold-blooded murder. It is nothing but murder. So the necessary actions will have to be taken, both criminal action as far as the officers are concerned. All these policemen will have to be suspended and domestic inquiry be conducted and be actually thrown out of their job. They should be dismissed from their jobs. Unless this is done, I think people will have no faith into the police. Having said that, I think the judiciary also should immediately act against the magistrate who remanded these both of them without even looking at them and noting down their injuries. The medical department will also have to take action against the doctors who had actually examined them and given a fitness certificate to be admitted in the jail. The jail authorities will have to take action against this, jailer or the jail superintendent, whoever was there, the officer who admitted them without noting down their injuries and having them in judicial custody. So all these people will have to be answerable and made answerable if only there is going to be any victim justice which you are talking about.
Yes, and Sudha Ramalingam, that's what you just mentioned. You laid out all the areas and at every level where, there are problems and action needs to be taken. And that's the worrying part, because it's not a question of just two cops who, brutally beat up these men. At every level, it has been tried to cover up. At every level, there have been lapses. At every level, people have looked the other way. Whether you talk about the magistrate, whether you talk about the hospital staff, whether you talk about the jail authorities, and of course the police. And that is also a big indication of the way this entire system has been in this particular case, at least.
Yeah, actually the system has failed. We know of police atrocities, custodial violence repeatedly happening every now and then. The High Courts have taken cognizance, the Supreme Court has taken cognizance, but nothing really has happened in the field. The Human Rights Commissions are silent about these things. Here and then there are some punishments given, but nothing really permeates to bring about the change which is really required.
Yes, absolutely. Sudha Ramalingam, thank you so much for joining us with your perspective. And Pramod, thanks for joining us with all of those latest details. We're, of course, going to continue to track every development on this particular story. But on that note, slipping into a quick break, we'll be back with lots more.